Derby Nerd here for ToRD TV post-bout with Betty Bomber, captain of the Death Track Dolls. Bomber, things started off a little dire for the Dolls, but you were able to come back at the end of the first half. What was the difference at the beginning? Why were the Gores in such control?
They held a really good solid wall in the back, and once they had that wall, they were able to cycle up really easily. And I think we just needed to tighten up a lot more and cycle a lot more.
Is that what happened at the end of the first half? You guys had a push back there. You made the score pretty close at the end of the first half. Was that the difference? You guys were...
We had it together. We were starting to gel together right at the end of the last 4 jams. And if we had kept going with that, we definitely would have won this game. But unfortunately, we didn't.
So what happened then in the second half? The Gores kind of responded to your pushback, I think, a little bit. They made some adjustments, came back. What was the difference in the second half?
We just weren't doing the things that we know how to do, and that's sticking together, cycling up, communicating as a team. I think we were just kind of dispersed on the track, and that's just something we have to work on for our next game.
Now, is that something the Gores were doing, or is this something that the Dolls can adjust for?
No, the Gores were doing that. They were able to adjust with whatever jammer, and they were just able to stay together and communicate. There's always a strong back wall, and then they cycled up for a strong front wall. And that's how they won the game.
Seems that for a while there, you guys were able to get a lot of leads. You and Sharky were both winning a lot of jams, but then Dusty or Bambi were able to catch you guys up. Is it just hard to compete with Dust Bunny and Bambi?
Well, as a jammer, it's, they are fast jammers, but it's really, you want to look and see where your pack is. If you have a whole bunch of your team in the back and you're coming up and the other jammer's right behind you, you're going to call it off. Your team really needs to get to the front so you can at least get 1 point.
Bomber, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Dave.
Derby Nerd here with Santa Marta post-bouts. Gores winning their 10th straight ToRD bout in a row.
It's true.
A pretty dominant performance. There were moments when the Dolls came back, but are the Gores going to run the table again this season?
That is always the plan. We got to say that the Dolls had us running at the end of the first. They adapted to the strategy really, really well, and we had to start changing things up. So it was really nice to see my team pull back together and start doing what we do best.
So was that it? There was a readjustment at the half? Because you guys came out flying at the beginning of the first half, and the Dolls had a bit of a pushback. Were they making adjustments, so you had to adjust for that?
Yeah, it's all about adjustments, constantly bouncing back, seeing what they're doing. And I mean, the Dolls had us pegged by the middle of the first half, and it started to show with them climbing up. So we couldn't let them do that. Now could we?
What was the difference in the second half then? How did you guys hold them back? They didn't score for at least 8 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, we started to realize that they were doing really well waterfalling and nailing our jammers in the back, and we were leaving our jammers alone. We kind of thought that just let our jammers be, and really what we needed to do was have somebody out there. So we split the pack, divide and conquer, and so we were able to access the back and the front and split the Dolls right up, and that ended up working out really well for us.
Congratulations on your first win of the season.
Thank you very much. It was amazing. It always is amazing.
Derby Nerd here for ToRD TV with Dust Bunny post-bout. Dust Bunny, congratulations. This is the 10th win in a row for the Gore-Gore Rollergirls.
Thank you. I didn't even know that.
Well, it's an unprecedented ToRD record.
Cool.
So congratulations. Is this going to continue throughout the season?
I hope so.
Yeah. You guys came out really hard in the opening 10 minutes. I think the Dolls had about 1 point. What was the difference at the beginning of the game?
We ran power lineups. We ran, I think, 4 power lineups right off the first jam. So I think that was the difference.
So you guys came out thinking you're going to have a fight and let's go all out.
Oh yeah, the Dolls are always we always go head to head with the Dolls, and they're always giving us a run for their money. And I can definitely always feel the competition between us. It's always fun, but it's never easy. So.
And last year, the first half, the Dolls kind of had you during the regular season bout between you guys. So was that something that was in your mind when you came out with all those power?
Yeah, we were paranoid about that happening again, so we wanted to make sure to shut that door and then move on.
Now, the Dolls had a bit of a pushback at the end of the first half, made it close. They were winning, Betty Bomber, Landshark winning a lot of lead jams.
Mm-hmm.
What did they change that made them have that comeback?
That's It's hard for me to think about because I usually think about in terms of what my team does, not
Right.
what their team does. So,
Well, how did you guys adjust for that then in the second half? Because they were really coming on strong at the end of the first, and then all of a sudden at the second half, they didn't score for 8 minutes.
yeah, well, we thought that they found out our strategy, so we decided to change up the strategy in the second half because they were getting wise to it, which is really good. They're an adaptable team. So we decided to adapt on their adaptation of our strategy and try to run something completely different so that they wouldn't be predetermining what we were going to do.
Nice.
Not going to say what. Thank
Congratulations, 10th win in a row.
you. Yay, thank you.
Have a good season.
Thank you.